Hello, and a very warm welcome to our peaceful corner of the internet. Thank you so much for carving out a little time to sit with us today.
Yes, a very warm, genuine welcome back to absolutely everyone listening. We know your days are incredibly busy and your mind is probably full of a million different tasks. So we are truly grateful you decided to slow down, take a deep breath, and practice your English with us right now.
I am Emma.
And I am Henry. This is your safe, comfortable, and completely stress-free space to improve your English through real, honest conversations about daily life. And today, we are talking about something incredibly special and healing for your mind.
We really are. Whether you are walking your dog in the park right now, cleaning your apartment, driving to work, or maybe you're just lying on the sofa staring at the ceiling, we see you, and we are so happy you are here with us.
We absolutely are. Before we dive into our main topic today, Emma, I have to ask you a somewhat personal question about your modern habits. Have you tried to watch a full movie recently? Just sit down in silence and watch a regular 2-hour movie.
Oh, that is a very interesting, very revealing question. Actually, yes. Just last Friday night, I decided to have a quiet evening. I made a large bowl of popcorn, I got a warm blanket, I sat on my comfortable sofa, and I put on a classic movie that I had really wanted to see for months.
That sounds like the perfect relaxing Friday night. And how did that go? Did you enjoy the beautiful cinematography?
Henry, I am honestly so embarrassed to admit this to you and our listeners, but I could not finish it. After exactly 20 minutes, I felt this strange, uncomfortable, heavy feeling in my hands and my chest. I paused the movie, I picked up my mobile phone from the table, and I just started scrolling through short, silly videos. I spent an entire hour looking at my phone while the beautiful classic movie was paused on the television.
Wow, you paused a beautiful, artistic movie just to look at random, loud videos of strangers on the internet.
I did. My brain simply refused to focus on one single slow story for 2 hours. I felt like a small goldfish with a 3-second memory. It was completely exhausting, and I felt very guilty afterward.
Please do not feel embarrassed or guilty, Emma, because you are definitely not alone in this struggle. I experienced the exact same anxious feeling last week, but with a simple magazine article. I read the very first paragraph, I got bored, I checked my emails, I walked to the kitchen to make tea, I checked the weather, and I completely forgot what I was originally reading.
It is a terrible modern feeling, isn't it? We feel like we are constantly, desperately looking for the next fast distraction. We cannot just sit in silence anymore.
Exactly. And that modern, exhausting struggle is the perfect introduction to our main topic today. Today, we are going to talk about the forgotten magic of reading a physical book and what actually happens inside your brain when you finally force yourself to slow down and read.
This is such a vital conversation for our modern digital world. And as always, we're going to talk about it in simple, clear B1 and B2 level English, so you can just relax your tired mind and naturally absorb new vocabulary while we explore the hidden secrets of the human brain.
So, let us talk about the root of the problem first. Why does reading a simple paper book feel so incredibly difficult for us today? Why does picking up a novel feel like lifting heavy, painful weights at the gym?
I think it's because our modern brains are trapped inside a massive, chaotic mental pinball machine.
A mental pinball machine. I absolutely love that visual metaphor. A pinball machine is loud, it's full of flashing, colorful lights, and it's completely chaotic.
Exactly. Think about your daily life right now. Your phone rings loudly. A red email notification pops up on your computer screen. You walk outside and see a bright, moving advertisement on the street. You watch a fast 15-second video with loud, aggressive music, and then you immediately swipe your finger to the next one.
The silver metal ball in your brain is just bouncing rapidly from one loud noise to another. Ping, ping, ping. There is no rest.
Yes, and every single time you look at a new notification or a short video, your brain gets a tiny, fast drop of a chemical called dopamine. It is a very cheap, very fast reward. Your brain slowly becomes completely addicted to this constant, fast, bright speed.
So when you finally turn off your computer, put your phone in another room, pick up a quiet paper book and look at a page with just black text and absolutely no moving pictures, your addicted brain panics.
It absolutely panics. Your brain screams at you. It says, "Where is the loud music? Where are the bright red colors? Where is my fast dopamine reward? This book is too quiet, and this story is moving too slowly."
That makes perfect biological sense. Reading a book requires deep, sustained attention. You have to hold one single thought, one single environment, and one complex story in your mind for a long period of time. And because we never practice doing that anymore, the attention muscle in our brain has become very, very weak.
But the beautiful, hopeful news today is that you can build that muscle back. Reading a book is the absolute best mental yoga for a tired, overstimulated brain. You just have to stretch the muscle slowly.
Mental yoga. I love that. So what actually happens inside our heads when we push past that initial boredom, we ignore the panic, and we finally start reading a good story?
One of the most incredible, scientifically proven things that happens is that reading literally builds empathy. It permanently changes the way you understand other human beings in the real world.
Empathy. That is a big word. The ability to truly feel and deeply understand what another person is experiencing. How does a simple paper book do that?
When you watch a movie on a screen, you are just an observer. You are looking at the actors from the outside. But when you read a fiction book, you are actually living inside the main character's mind. You are listening to their secret thoughts, you are feeling their private fears, and you are seeing the world completely through their eyes.
That is incredibly profound. Let me share a personal experience about this exact feeling. A few months ago, I read a wonderful historical novel about an elderly clockmaker living in London in the bitter winter of the 1800s.
An elderly clockmaker in the winter. That sounds very atmospheric and slightly sad.
It was beautiful. The author carefully described the freezing cold wind blowing through the man's small shop, the dry smell of the old wood, and the profound sadness the man felt because his children had moved far away. As I was reading those words, I literally felt a cold physical chill in my own modern living room. I felt the deep, heavy sadness in my own chest.
Your brain was physically experiencing the clockmaker's reality. The lines between you and the character disappeared.
Exactly. Scientists have actually done brain scans on people while they are reading novels. If you read a sentence about a character running quickly through a dark forest, the exact same motor area of your brain lights up as if you were actually running yourself. Your brain does not know the difference.
You literally borrow someone else's life for a few hours. And when you do that regularly, you become much more patient, much more kind, and much more understanding with the real people in your everyday life. When someone is rude to you at the supermarket, you realize they might be carrying a heavy, secret story that you know nothing about.
That alone is a beautiful, life-changing reason to read. But Emma, our listeners are here today to learn English. How does reading a physical book change the brain of a language learner?
Oh, Henry, reading is the ultimate, absolute best secret weapon for learning a second language. I like to call it the submarine method.
The submarine method, okay. You have to explain this one to me. I'm very curious.
Think about how most people study English grammar in school. They sit at a hard desk, they look at a strict, boring textbook, and they try to memorize confusing rules. It's like standing on the dry, sandy beach, looking at a flat paper map of the ocean, and trying to memorize exactly where the colorful fish live. It's boring, it's difficult, and you forget it quickly.
That is very true. Rote memorization with flashcards is painful and unnatural.
But when you read an English book, you step inside a mental submarine and you dive deep underwater. You are completely surrounded by the natural environment of the language. You see the vocabulary swimming naturally in its real, native habitat.
You are totally immersed in the language. The water is all around you.
Exactly. Let us say you do not know the English word whisper. But you read a scene where a character is hiding in a dark closet from a monster, and they whisper to their friend so they don't make noise. Your brain instantly understands the word from the context. You do not need a dictionary.
And you don't need to memorize the complex rules of the past continuous tense because you naturally absorb how it works by seeing it used correctly in 100 different exciting sentences. Your brain automatically recognizes the patterns without you even trying to study.
You learn the grammar completely passively just by enjoying the story. You do not even realize you're studying. That removes so much pressure, stress, and performance anxiety from the language learning process.
It really does. So practically speaking, how can our listeners start reading more today, especially if they feel that their attention span is currently very weak and the brain is addicted to their phone?
The absolute best tip I can give you is to start incredibly, ridiculously small. Do not go to the bookstore today and buy a massive 1,000-page classic novel by Charles Dickens or William Shakespeare. That will completely overwhelm your brain and you will quit on the second day.
Exactly. You would just feel like a failure. What should our listeners do instead?
I want everyone to practice the bedside table rule. Keep a physical book, not a digital tablet, on your bedside table right next to your lamp, and make a strict promise to yourself to read just 5 pages every single night before you go to sleep.
Just 5 pages? That takes maybe 10 minutes at the most.
Exactly. Anyone can read for 10 minutes. 5 pages is an unfailable goal. The goal is not to finish the book quickly. The goal is simply to train your brain to transition from the loud, chaotic digital day into a quiet, focused analog night. After a week of reading 5 pages, your brain will start craving that quiet time. You will naturally want to read 10 pages, then 20.
And my personal tip for everyone is this. Please, read something fun. Read a thrilling, scary mystery. Read a silly romantic comedy, or read a massive fantasy book about dragons and magic. Do not force yourself to read boring business books or heavy nonfiction just because you think you should look smart.
That is such a great, important point. If the story is exciting and fun, the dopamine will come naturally from the plot, and you will completely forget that you are reading in a foreign language. Your brain will just want to know what happens next.
Exactly. You are doing wonderfully just by showing up to listen and learn with us today. You are already training your attention muscle. Now, before we finish our time together, let us slow down our pace even more and take our calm word tour.
This truly is my favorite part of the entire episode. This is the quiet, safe moment where we review some of the beautiful, useful, and slightly advanced vocabulary we used in today's chat. Just relax your tired shoulders, take a deep, slow breath, and let the English meanings settle deeply into your memory.
Our first word today is overstimulated.
Overstimulated. This is a very important, very modern adjective. If your brain is overstimulated, it means it has received far too much sensory information. It has seen too much noise, too many bright lights, or too many fast videos, and it feels completely exhausted, stressed, and unable to focus.
For example, you could say, after spending 3 hours walking through the loud, crowded shopping mall, I felt completely overstimulated and just wanted to sleep in a dark room. Or, small children often cry and scream when they become overstimulated at a busy birthday party. Overstimulated.
Our next highly useful phrase is attention span.
Attention span. This refers to the exact length of time that you can naturally concentrate and focus intentionally on a single quiet task before your brain becomes distracted or bored.
For instance, because he watched so many fast, short videos on his mobile phone every day, his natural attention span became very, very short. Or reading a complex historical book requires a very long attention span. Attention span.
Our third important concept is the wonderful adjective immersive.
Immersive. This is a beautiful word. If an experience is immersive, it feels so real, so deep, and so deeply engaging that it completely surrounds you. It makes you entirely forget about your own life and the real world outside.
For example, the new virtual reality video game was so incredibly immersive that he played it for 5 hours without even looking at the clock on the wall. Or, reading a well-written fiction novel is a deeply immersive experience for the human brain. Immersive.
Next, we used the descriptive verb to wander.
To wonder. Physically, to wonder means to walk around slowly without a specific destination or a clear direction, like walking in a forest. But metaphorically, which is how we use it for the human mind, it means when your thoughts stop focusing on the present moment and start drifting to random, unrelated topics.
For instance, the university professor was speaking so slowly that my mind began to wander to what I was going to cook for dinner that night. Or, do not worry, it is completely normal for your mind to wander when you first start reading a paper book. Wander.
And finally, we talked about the beautiful, essential noun, empathy.
Empathy. This is the profound human ability to deeply understand, share, and actually feel the emotions and the perspective of another human being. It is the mental ability to step into someone else's shoes and see the world through their tired eyes.
For example, reading diverse stories about people from completely different cultures and countries helps to build strong global empathy. Or, the kind hospital nurse showed great empathy when she patiently listened to the sick patient's deep fears. Empathy.
Wonderful. That completely concludes our Calm word tour for today. Please remember, you absolutely do not need to perfectly memorize all of these complex expressions right now.
Just choose one single word or phrase from this list that connected with your heart or your personal daily struggles today and try to use it in your mind or write it in a notebook this week.
And speaking of writing, we have a very small, friendly piece of homework for you tonight. We want you to go down to the comments section below the video and use one of our new words to tell us about your personal reading habits.
Yes, for example, you could write, "My attention span is very short right now, but I'm going to try the bedside table rule tonight." Or, "I really want to find an immersive English mystery book to read this weekend."
It absolutely does not have to have perfect grammar. It just has to be real, honest, and written by you. We genuinely read every single one of your comments. We see your progress, and we celebrate your small wins with you like two friends cheering for you.
Thank you so much for trusting us with your English education and also with your quiet, valuable time today. Remember, reading a book is not a strict academic test. It is a peaceful, secret garden where you can escape the loud noise of the modern world and quietly absorb the beauty of language.
Take a massive, deep breath, relax your tired shoulders, and give yourself a little credit for today. You showed up here, you listened carefully, you focused your mind. That already means you are actively training your attention muscle.
And we'll be right here next time, ready to talk, laugh, and explore the beautiful world with you in our quiet corner. I'm Henry.
And I'm Emma. Take very good care of yourselves, and we'll see you next time.